We have the agenda. Just to recap, we will have a first presentation on CEUP project. So Aleksandra Gabriel, coming from Krakowski Technology Park, that is the coordinator of the project, will explain us and recap for those who already know the project, what are the objectives and the outcomes, just to give also the framework, the background related to the organization of this roundtable. Then we will have two different rounds of discussion. The first is more at the regional level, so we will discuss the ongoing initiatives related on AI and somehow also related to the advanced manufacturing. And we will have 5 panelists to discuss the topic. And then we will have a second moderated roundtable more related to industrial applications, so real cases in which AI is applied in industrial ecosystem. And also in this case, we will try to highlight the benefits of the AI, but also potential barriers. And we will start the discussion in this way. And then, of course, we will have a wrap-up and closure of the event. Okay, I don't want to lose too much time for this introduction, so I ask to Aleksandra to start the presentation and to present you the CEUP project.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Yeah. I will just share my screen with the presentation. Okay, I hope you can see it.
Yes.
And I will try to be brief, just to leave more time for the interesting discussions that are planned for the next phases of this meeting. But we would like to give you a short overview on what is the CEUP2030 project about and how what is actually why we are actually meeting here today. So generally the CEUP2030 project is implemented within the Interreg Central Europe program, and this is the final phase of the project as we implement it until the end of April. So we are in the very final, we have like this final countdown of the project already going on. So the strong part of the project is the partnership, as we cooperate within 7 countries, and we have 10 very experienced organizations who are working on everyday basis with the manufacturing and technology areas. These are research institutes, these are business support organizations from Poland, Germany, Austria, Italy, Croatia, Slovenia, and Hungary. Most of these organizations are also involved in the digital innovation hubs and are aspiring to be the European digital innovation hubs, so that's also important. What is very specific about the project that's worth to be mentioned is that this project was not built from the very scratch. We have used the previous projects that the partners have been involved in to get the best practices, the best experiences, and to develop it further regarding methodology, regarding activities, and regarding strategies. And we develop it further in the project CEUP2030 to achieve the goals. So we basically used the experience from 3 Interreg Central Europe projects and 3 Horizon 2020 projects that were already in progress or even finished when we started the project CEUP2030. What was the vision behind our project? Generally, the challenge that we put in front of us was to generate stable innovation networks, to foster better understanding and generate improved knowledge and exchange on new technology, which are relevant for the Central Europe Advanced Manufacturing and Industry 4.0, so the CAMI 4.0. This is the shortcut that I will explain a little bit more in a minute. We put in front of us the goals, which were to meet the challenges and needs of high quality innovation know-how, and to develop this know-how in the Central Europe area, to create a comprehensive innovation system for policy making, which will help us set up the best-in-class structure and to improve the policy instruments, and to synergize the outputs and results of the previously mentioned twin projects and set strong link for emerging new spin-off projects for the future. Central Europe Advanced Manufacturing and Industry 4.0 topics that we decided to cover by the CEUP2030 projects were 4 technological areas, which you can see here on the slide. So we covered the intelligent production systems, smart materials, automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence. So that's why we discussed here today the artificial intelligence, and we defined some subtopics for each of this CAMI 4.0 that we analyzed and work on within the project. The structure of the project was quite typical for the Interreg Central Europe project. So we, in order to achieve our goals, we identified 3 specific objectives, which were to enhance the skills and capabilities of people in charge of RTI policies, research technology and innovation policies in the triple helix context. So it was very important for us to engage the stakeholders from different sides, not only from business, not only from not only from business, but also from policymakers, also research, just to mix their points of view and their knowledge and their experience. To ensure the awareness and shared sustainable responsibility on these RTI topics and knowledge resources in order to enhance the policy decision making. So yeah, to use this diversity of stakeholders that we address and their experience in order to improve and develop the policy instruments. And finally, to anticipate and fast-track the policy strategies to promote the smart specializations for CAMI 4.0 excellence. We did, in order to achieve these goals, we have set up and implemented a lot of activities. So just to briefly sum it up, in order to strengthen the capacity and competences of the policymakers, we have organized a set of policy learning labs. At the regional level, each of the partners organized 2 policy learning labs, and at the transnational level, we have organized 4 policy learning labs. And this, in total, we had more than 300 participants. And these meetings were aimed at sharing the knowledge and experience between stakeholders. So that was like a lab, as it was called, to learn from each other, to learn about the expectations, especially to strengthen the capacity of the policymakers in order to find out the real needs and the real challenges that the industry companies are facing when it comes to implementation of innovation. We have set up trends and innovation networks on those already mentioned 4 CAMI 4.0 topics, and these were networks of experts and stakeholders who were working on, who are involved in the topic of implementing technology and developing innovation in the manufacturing area. We have also organized, each partner organized 4 regional trend tech dialogue meetings where we were discussing on the use cases and where the particular examples of successful implementation of innovations and Industry 4.0 technologies in the manufacturing companies were presented and were a base for a discussion. And finally, we have been elaborating a flagship project. So each partner worked on 2 their own flagship projects, which they designed, prepared, and submitted in some of the already available calls for proposals in different kinds of programs that were available at the national and transnational level, but also the whole consortium divided into smaller subgroups, and we worked on the common flagship projects, and this work is also finalizing at the moment. So we created 4 common initiatives for further development of the activity and further development of the innovation and innovation implementation in the manufacturing area. And also in this phase, in order to discuss the policy instruments and in order to share experiences regarding the policy instruments available to support the innovation and Industry 4.0 solutions, we organized regional roundtables and also 4 transnational roundtables, 1 for each CAMI 4.0 topic, and the one that we are meeting here today is focused on AI. Just to sum up the main outcomes that we already achieved in the project, we definitely identified the applications and technologies which are priorities for industrial stakeholders as we involved the industrial stakeholders from the very beginning of the project, so we could really follow their needs and expectations. But we also, through the learning labs and through the trends and innovation networks, we also decreased the knowledge gap between business and policymakers. What is very meaningful and important in order to better adjust the policy instruments to support the innovations in the industry. We created a regional and transnational network of expertise by involving different stakeholders in our activities. We have each partner have their own network of expertise, but also we can share at the transnational level. We have definitely deep dive into the policy instruments, and we were able to identify the strengths and challenges that are connected with the policy instruments available at the transnational and regional levels, and this will be also based for further recommendations. And what is important and already mentioned, we developed a common flagship, so we somehow ensure the sustainability of the project by submitting new proposals and creating a new project ideas for further future cooperation after the project ends. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this brief introduction will be a good base for the further discussion. Thank you very much.